Hello and welcome. Welcome, beautiful psychic friends and fellow spiritual psychics and attuners with the spiritual psychic way. It's Psychic Cynthia here, and I'm logging on today to once again talk with you about spirit guides and explore the realm of spirit guide communication. Because this is the kick I'm on right now. Every so often I go through different periods where I'm focused on different topics, usually because I'm teaching classes on that or helping a group of clients with it. So right now, in this holiday season, I'm focusing on spirit guide communication. It's a passion of mine close to my heart. The guides have been with me my whole life, leading me and helping me. They've really helped me get out of some tight spots in my life and also helped me to achieve some of my dreams, to have the happiest life possible for me. So I am excited to share more with you about this. And listen, if you are watching this and want to know more, do check out my Spirit Guide Attunement course. Right now you can join me live, and maybe in the future there'll be other parts to it added, but even if you can't join us live, I'm going to try to make those available for courses for you to purchase later on my website. So definitely know that you can get more information and more help with this from me if you need that. But I would like to share some tips with you today about communicating with your guides and how that can be more clear and easy for you. I'm ready if you are. Are you ready? Okay, great. So starting out, what I'd like to talk with you about how you can make this guide communication easier. Listen, I'm not going to talk about how many guides you have and all of that. I have other videos on that, or I don't know if I have videos on that, but today we're just going to focus on how you can make the connection more easily and open to your guides. And one of the first things, number one, that I want to share with you about this is the importance of relaxation. Just listen to the sound of that word, relaxation. And in order to really do any kind of psychic process really, even if it's just tuning into your own intuition, but especially when you want to make the connection to these higher spiritual beings and your ancestors and or the fairies and the elves or your totems and so on, you need to be in the proper state of mind, or some might even say the proper state of energy. You need to be in the right state of consciousness to make a clear connection. And the first mechanism for doing that within yourself is to be relaxed. And, it's not an easy thing always for people in modern times, especially, I think, in current times, because I do observe that our mental bodies are overstimulated, our minds. In other words, we're thinking all the time. And when you're thinking, you can't be relaxed, because relaxation is a state where your entire being is softened and opened. Now, there are different degrees of relaxation. And, like if you ever had a really good massage, or an energy treatment, and how at the end you're like, you're totally limp, you're like mush, right? And you couldn't even lift your arms. And that's a really deep relaxation, or like if you're in a deep sleep, that's really deep. You don't necessarily have to be that relaxed to communicate well with your guides, okay? But just more like a soft and gentle relaxation, an openness. The qualities of relaxation, and the qualities you need within yourself to have this clarity of communication with your guides. It is a kind of softness. It's a kind of yin, flowing energy, a gentleness. In contrast to, like, if you're watching a news story or something and you're getting all worked up and your mind is really sharp, like Okay, here's what I'm saying. If you're sharp around the edges and you're feeling sharp, then you're probably not relaxed. So you want to, develop practices to help you step into that relaxed, soft, receptive, slower frequency. It's slower, it's softer, it's more gentle. And meditation, of course, is a really good way to do that. And if you already have a meditation practice, then, probably you can keep doing that, and that will help increase your connection to your guides. But I think to make it even more fundamental, let's go back to the foundation of relaxation and also the foundation of guide communication and really any form of psychic journeying, let's say, even shamanic journeying, is breathing. So I want you to think about slowing down your breathing a little bit every day for a period of time. And not necessarily a long period, okay? Especially if you're not accustomed to breathing deeply and slowly. At first you should just do a short period of time to give your bodies time to adjust. But even just a few minutes a day, literally just a few minutes a day, 3 to 5 minutes, for some maybe even 1 minute of deep breathing and relaxation, it will help you to soften your vibes and your aura, so to speak, so that you can be more receptive to the messages from your guides. So that's what I'd like you to focus on. And in the course that I'm going to teach, we're going to talk more about relaxation and specific processes and techniques. But fundamental to it all is the breathing. I mean, you don't need to worry about the other stuff until you've worked with the slow, deep breathing. And notice I said slow. I didn't say it has to be at this rate or you have to take this number of breaths, because really slow is relative depending on your own unique body chemistry, how fast or how slow you already breathe. Here is the thing, though, that I want you to get. However fast or slow you normally breathe, however deep or shallow you normally breathe, if you will, just starting where you're at, okay? Because that's the only place you can start, right? Is where you are at. Start where you are at and just slow it down a little and deepen the breath a little. And do that for a few minutes a day or regularly, okay? If for some reason you're not disciplined enough or you just, you can't, I don't know. I think anybody could do a few minutes a day of this, really. It's hard for me to conceive of how you wouldn't have, 1 to 3 minutes in the shower at least. But wherever you get it, do it as often as you can, in terms of, each day if you can. Or if not, 7 days a week, try for 5, okay? But when you do that, when you slow your breath down from where it normally is, where you deepen it, what that does is it shifts your consciousness. And again, it softens your aura. It creates an opening in your heart. And that's another thing you have to do to have good, clear guide communication, to be in alignment with your guides and to build that relationship. You have to open your heart. And I know so many of you watching this, so many of you actually are already contacting your guides and you have that good relationship. So kudos to you, good for you. But many of you are just getting started. You want the connection so deeply, but your hearts are closed. And you can't do that. No matter how experienced you are, by the way, it's possible that you could be very experienced with guide communication. And then for whatever reason, something happens in your life or something happens in society and it really pisses you off. And you get angry and you get upset and you get in this pattern of being really sharp. And then you just hold that energy and it builds a fortress around your heart. Well, your guides can't reach you then. If your heart is hardened over, your guides can't reach you. Hello. Everybody thinks that, who's new or doesn't understand it really, they're going to think that communication with your guides is on the third eye. That's bullshit, okay? Communication with the guides is in the heart. The third eye helps us to see clearly once the communication is initiated. It helps us to understand, okay? It helps us to interpret. It might even help us to glimpse the guides, on a psychic level. But actual communication of any kind, deep communication, happens in the heart. That's true whether you're talking about your communication with your family members, with your coworkers, with anybody in your life. When there's real true communication, genuine communication, it is heart to heart. So you've got to, enter into that relaxed state of receptivity where your heart is open. If you want to understand a little bit more about it, what's happening with this physical process of slowing down the breath is it's opening your heart. I mean, really, it opens all the chakras. But did you know that all the chakras come together in the heart? The heart is the center, the matrix. So we're working in that heart energy. And we're doing that simply by slowing down our breathing. And you might have noticed that in this video even, I have slowed down my speech patterns more. If you watch other videos by me, I might normally speak a little faster sometimes, not always. But I certainly can be a quick talker. But here, I am consciously slowing down my speech because I'm slowing down my breathing and I'm softening the tone, like at my actual voice. So I'm stepping into that energy of guide communication. So that even in the making of this video for you, this lesson, I'm actually channeling my guides. And I can do that simply by slowing down my breathing and softening my body. If I slow down my breathing, if I deepen it, even when speaking, of course you can't go as deep when you're speaking. So, you actually want to just do that deep breathing. And I do prefer in through the nose with the closed mouth and then out through the mouth. Many people do in and out through the nose, and that's fine too. Really for these purposes of guide communication, however you want to do it, just as long as it's slower and deeper, it's fine. And when I do that here, like in this video, even when I'm talking, it's opening the byway of information, the highway, right? It's connecting. It's like accessing a superconductor of communication, the true internet. The true internet. What we call the internet, which is so totally awesome and cool, but it's just a dim reflection of the cosmic internet that connects you with your guides, that connects all of our guides and all of us together. Okay, that's a topic for another time. Alrighty, well, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you want to learn more, consider at least subscribing to my YouTube channel, because I am planning on making more videos on this subject here in the near future. And also consider joining me for the Spirit Guide Attunement courses. And I'll put a link below, and who knows, maybe if I'm lucky, I'll remember to put a link in the video. But I do hope you found this helpful, and I hope that you will open your heart to your guides, because it can bring so much increased peace and joy and connection into your life. Until next one, I'm sending you many bright blessings. Bye.